don't think there's any inter-club rivalries. Do you guys want to shout out any club you have a problem with?
Boys rugby.
Okay. Boys rugby versus girls rugby. Who would win?
Definitely girls.
What's up, guys? Sabre podcast episode number 4, back once again, and we're just gonna go left to right because we have a lot of people on this panel. Of course, I'm David Brown.
I'm Alessandra.
I'm Leah.
I'm Elise.
And I'm Gabby.
So before this podcast started, we had a discussion about how different the atmosphere is between football and rugby. In football, of course, you have the bombast, you have the high ego, and you have two people talking a whole bunch of junk. But apparently, on the other side in rugby, it's very quiet.
I think there's still a lot of that like locker room talk and stuff from other teams. Just our team personally, our coach wants us to have class. We handle our business. Like, we don't want to look rowdy.
Aren't you guys called the Savages?
Yes. You also have to take into like a sort of a double standard between being a female sport and also our team is definitely one of the most diverse rugby teams. So if we go out there, there's those stereotypes of us already being savage-like or whatever. So yeah, so we try to, not be those stereotypes, win in a calm, classy manner. Even though other teams may be like that and they provoke us or whatever, but we have to keep it together.
And that's good in some ways. It keeps your head in the game. You're not focused on what you're saying. There's this thing that my mom used to say. She said, and everyone said it. She called me action man because you speak through your actions out there, you speak through your words.
Exactly.
But sometimes you just need a little bit of words. See, the actions is like the main course, but the words behind it, it's kind of like a side dish.
I'll say it is hard, because it can also go to like life lessons. Try to control yourself in different situations. Intelligence. There we go.
So all you guys are in rugby, but is anybody else in any other clubs?
I'm also in Model UN with Mr. Preach.
What do you guys do?
It's like we simulate like the actual UN, have debates on international topics.
And if you're like me, and you had to think about that for a second, UN is United Nations. I had to think about that. Anybody else in some other clubs?
I'm in a few other clubs. Some of them future science specialists. So basically, we just explore different science careers and like what that entails. And sometimes we have like speakers that come in and talk about their career, whether it's a dermatologist or a nurse or anything like that.
Any other clubs? You said you're in a lot.
I'm also in Beta Club. It's kind of like a honor society. You have to have like a minimum GPA and you do service hours and stuff like that.
How do you juggle all that with rugby and beta and future science and school?
I think being busy honestly helps me be like I'm more productive whenever I have more to do. It's like I have to be really organized and scheduled.
Yeah, that's really something I need to strive for because whenever I have a bad habit of when I get stressed and work starts stressing me out, I said, I'm done. I'll just drop it and say, this is for future David to do. And sometimes it bites me in the butt, but sometimes I think I just need some time to chill. Do you guys go to the ICC meetings?
Yeah.
Okay. I was in the ICC meeting last Saturday, and it was my first time, so I didn't know what ICC really did. Can you guys elaborate on that?
Where the clubs all come together and talk. We're trying to unite our clubs together, better communication.
So with ICC and with different clubs, all these different clubs, what would you, if you could make any club, what would it be?
I know my freshman year I wanted to join the STEP or whatever. I don't know if that's the club or not, but I don't know if we have that anymore.
The STEP Club?
Yeah.
Like in I can't think of the movie. I can't think of the movie.
Is it Bring It On?
I don't know. But like they used to go in like the mall area and like perform like during lunches and stuff. And,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I wanted to do that, but I was too nervous freshman year, so now. I don't want to do it.
If I can make any club, it probably this is embarrassing. I'm a huge nerd, so it'd probably be like a professional wrestling club. Just sit back, watch some WWF/WWE, a little bit of TNA, a little bit of Ring of Honor. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about right now.
But you know, if you're passionate
But
about it,
we support.
Yeah.
You. It's just not
yeah,
it.
yeah, it's just a hobby of mine. So what club would you join if you had the time?
I'm pretty sure HOSA, I think, seems pretty interesting.
What does HOSA do?
It has to do with like careers in the medical field.
What club would you join?
I don't know if this already is here, but probably something with like animals, like volunteering at a dog shelter or something would be pretty cool.
Gabby?
I think there might be a club similar to this like idea, but it'd be cool if there was something that could help like clean up the campus like trash wise, because there's always a lot of trash that is, and I don't know. It just bothers me to look at it.
Gabby, you an ego nerd? No, it's not even because in the council when we were going over some days that we would do stuff, Gabby suggested that we should do like a student government cleanup day, and I love the planet, I love the environment, I love living on this planet, but I don't want to spend that much time picking up trash. I'm sorry.
It's not even like it's that fun, but when you look at it, you just have to pick it up. It's just like a thing.
Yeah,
like you can't look at it and then just walk away.
Yeah, it look more pretty.
And global warming nowadays.
Yeah, think of the sea turtles.
Serious.
Think of the sea turtles. Hashtag think of the sea turtles. You guys are in a sports club. What do you think the main differences between a sports club and a sports team would be? The difference between having something like rugby and something like football.
We don't have tryouts for you to join our team. We also don't get as much funding, right? It's all like you pay club dues, and that's pretty much where our money comes from.
We don't have as much as a privilege as teams, like official teams, as in like weight rooms. We are not prioritized. Fields.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring up the story that was brought up before the podcast where a team kicked off the rugby team off of their field, and then they ended up at our practice field. I can't speak for Coach White or the football team, but I think it's good that we share the field. I'd love to share the field with some guys. Maybe not too many teams. We don't want to split up into 4 different sections. Rugby on one side, LAX on the other, boys rugby and football. But yeah, we need to stay together as club sports, regular sports. It's all it all comes together. So for your guys' games, where do they happen?
It depends on the teams and where we can like get people to allow us to play. Usually we've played at like Huff or like Matthews Sportsplex.
Okay, so it all just depends.
Mm-hmm.
There's still like admission fees and all that?
$5 for non-players.
When you guys buy equipment, is it like you guys have to get some stuff out of pocket? Are you guys allowed to talk about it? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, we have like club dues, and that's $100 per player. And depending how many players pay that, our coaches will take from that to buy more equipment. But most of the time, it comes from our own coach's pocket.
Depending on if like we travel though, some of that money does have to come out of pocket. Like last year when we traveled to Tennessee, we had to pay for like the vans ourselves and like gas and food, hotels.
See, I would have bragged on that if that was me. I would have been like, "Oh yeah, we went down to Tennessee. Where else did you guys go? You guys travel a lot?"
We've been to Tennessee, Charleston, Wilmington, Raleigh.
What?
Yeah, there are some things like in Florida and stuff. But I don't think we're gonna do that this year.
We don't have the money.
Yeah. And nationals are also in Colorado this year.
Colorado.
Yeah.
If we can't get to Florida,
Yeah.
You guys are quiet because I would have been talking about that. I would have been like, yeah, like if the football team was traveling like that, you You know I would have already been talking. I wouldn't have stopped talking. Well, does anybody have any discussion topics that you think you could bring up about clubs? Any questions you have about clubs that we could discuss?
I think we should get more recognition for our club specifically because like we won so many awards, we have so many trophies, and they don't get displayed on campus. So like, or at least to put it like on the thing at the front of the school, or like make an announcement about it that we won nationals. Like that's a big like. I feel like we're still part of the school.
We're still representing South Meck.
Yeah.
And we're called the South Meck Savages.
Yeah.
We should definitely be represented for that.
In student government, we sometimes have that problem of where we in our like pep rally and in our marches and stuff like that, we try to represent every team, but then we have like club sports and we don't represent them well. Like when we have a pep rally, it's like let's say golf stand up or cross country stand up, but sometimes we don't recognize you guys. And I know your season goes on longer. Right? Yeah, you have like 2 seasons, I believe.
Yeah, it's pretty much a year round.
Yeah, and I agree. I do agree. It's kind of messed up that you guys don't get that kind of recognition. So, as someone in student gov, and Gabby's also in student gov, we probably should have brought that up earlier. What's your role, Gabby?
In student government, I'm the sophomore class president.
Yeah. So, with me and Gabby on student government, what are some ways that we can recognize you guys?
I know last year, like when we had the whole commercial for us, that really made us happy. Like we all went to our coach's room to watch us.
Yeah, like during the election or whatever.
Yeah, the elections.
For the school.
Yeah, I think if we were to like let the school know when we won, like announcements or just anything.
Yeah, like you know how at the end of the day they say let's congratulate like swim team that won place so and so. Like if we did that, just so everybody would know.
Well, if we did that with y'all, we'd probably take up most of our announcements. We can't have everybody like it'd be like 15 minutes of announcements. That's crazy. So we usually like to end with something fun. So speaking on sports, speaking on clubs, is golf a sport? And if golf's a sport, is NASCAR a sport? And if NASCAR is a sport, should esports be a sport? I believe they're all connected in a way. You know what esports are?
No.
Ever
like
heard of it?
Like the gaming sports? Like Madden and stuff like that?
Ever heard of Rocket League?
Is that a sport?
Like Rocket League is a huge esport.
I never heard of
like you compete?
Yeah.
Like, there's those competitions for like all those like games, like video games and stuff.
And it gets on like ESPN. So I think we should start from the top. Should golf be considered a sport and why?
I think it should, just because it has like some sort of physical demand, you know?
I agree because I've been golfing before and that junk is mad hard. But when I think about it,
different from mini golf.
I'm bad at mini golf. I'm bad at most things that isn't football, and that's debatable. With golf, so you say golf is sport because it's physically challenging, but a lot of things can be physically challenging that isn't considered. That's like a sport.
I just feel like
so. How are we defining sport?
You practice it.
It's your own definition.
And so I feel that sports is something you practice and you work to get good at. And I feel like golf is like a really difficult sport from my perspective. From what I see, it's a very difficult sport. So you practice a lot. So therefore, I consider it a sport.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
what other things do you think are like physically demanding that like aren't
That's one thing.
sports?
Like if you're talking about just competition, then pretty much anything.
About playing a violin, because that takes a lot of practice, but that's not a sport. But I can see you with that, and with that, I think a lot of other things fit, like darts, bowling. Those are also considered sports. My definition is something that is competition between two people or multiple people that involves physical and mental, I don't know, things. So on that note, is NASCAR a sport?
See, I was watching this documentary, okay? It was like a Formula One documentary. I guess it's not NASCAR, but it's like similar, I guess, right?
Well, NASCAR is stock car racing. It's like I don't know why I know the acronym. The fake acronym is non-athletic sports centered around rednecks. The real one is National Association for Racing. It's Stock Car Racing. National Association for Stock Car Racing. So yeah, it's different. Stock cars are more like your regular cars, while Formula One is just made for speed. It's tough.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know enough about NASCAR,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what that demands of a person to like judge whether or not it'd be considered a sport.
racing.
From what I
Like
know,
horse
I'd
racing?
say
Yeah.
That
no.
would be a sport.
You
But-
say no.
But I feel like if I knew more, I might say yes. You know?
I don't know.
Yeah, the main argument for saying no is like they're driving in circles for
Yeah.
100 laps.
Yep. And like driving,
But there is a lot of technique you have to
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
like quick reaction times, because there's been a lot of times where I had to have quick reactions behind the wheel, and sometimes I was a bit too slow.
Oh.
Another story for another day.
Yes. So, would you say esports is a sport?
No.
No.
What?
I think it's
Like,
definitely
are-
a competition, but not
Yeah.
a sport.
Okay, reaction time.
Wait, you're like sitting down. Yeah, I don't feel
Right?
like you're
You're doing that in
It's
NASCAR?
not physical.
You're sitting down in
It's
a car?
mental, but not physical.
Yeah.
It could be physical. You can have a finger sprain.
No.
So, if it has to be physical, is chess a sport?
Yeah.
So
You're
chess.
sitting down.
Because that's strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So chess isn't a sport.
No.
I'm not trying to
I don't
mess
think-
with y'all.
I don't
I'm
think
just
so.
like I'm just trying to think what would. So we already went over my definition. We went over your definition. Anybody have a different definition of what a sport is?
I agree with yours
Yeah.
with mental and physical.
Does it have to be both mental and
with-
physical? Can you like is there something that's physical but not mental? And is there something that's mental but not physical?
I think
I feel like there might be things that are physical but not mental, but if you want to win at them
Yeah, you need
and like get
strategies.
better at it, then it starts to become mental.
So could it be that there's certain things in esports where you have to be physically better than the person to beat them mentally? So when
Not
you
at
say physically, I'm
esports.
thinking,
No.
okay, would you
'Cause
say
your
reaction times
avatar.
are physical or mental? Reaction times.
Mental. I feel like at first it's like mental, and then you physically like what's it called?
Yeah.
React.
So you gotta react.
First it goes through your head, and then your body
Because you're not
just
ever going
goes
into
along.
So I guess it is
contact,
mental.
I guess.
So
Right?
I guess you could say it's physical then, because you have your controller.
But it's your
And-
avatar.
Yeah, but you yourself are controlling your avatar. If it was hooked up to your brain, maybe. But since you yourself are like physically moving it and you have to react, I think it's more of a sport. I don't think it. I don't know. It's just because I saw an article on it and I thought it was interesting on if you should consider esports a sport, because some of those guys get paid 6 digits.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
It's like sports that we don't know if we like really consider them a sport, but those are like the most paid, the highest paid like sports that I like have heard of, like golf, NASCAR. Like they get paid a lot of money, and I don't even know if it's the real sport. Like what?
Just so you know, when she said sports, she had quotation marks.
You
You can't really
I
like.
don't really know yet.
Yeah. So when it comes to that stuff, it does get difficult to draw the line, and I honestly think that esports should be considered a sport. Okay, well, I'd like to thank you guys. If we could go once again, introduce yourselves left to right.
Alessandra.
I'm Leah.
I'm Elise.
And I'm Gabby.
And I'm David.
And this has been your ICC.
ICC.
I don't know.
I don't know that reminded me of some Power Rangers type stuff right there. And I'd like to thank you guys for listening to episode number 4. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.